Hello, I'm Chris Fenton with the Fenton Team of Royal LePage, and I'm coming to you from my virtual office here in the Alberni Valley to give you a real estate market update for May 2020. And what an interesting time to be alive as a human being on the planet, and certainly in the real estate industry, there's no exception to that. In the very beginning of this health crisis back in March, we real estate agents were deemed by the government to be an essential service, which meant that we were expected to continue to work for those clients we had who were in need to sell and in need to buy. We at Royal LePage made the decision right away that what we were going to do was shut down our office to the public and send our real estate agents home to continue to work from their virtual offices. At the Fenton Team, we have always been an online marketing team, and we've always been on the cutting edge of technology. So it didn't really limit us too much. However, of course, most buyers wanted to stay home, and most sellers didn't really want people traipsing through their homes. So it certainly affected the market. I am excited and cautiously excited to announce that in Tuesday of next week, we are reopening our office in the Alberni Valley. We've been working very hard for the last few weeks, putting together the appropriate and smart safety measures to keep everybody safe, both in our workforce as well as the public who is going to come into our office. And that's going to mean social distancing, cleanliness practices, as well as just keeping as many people out of the office as we possibly can. So we'll probably continue to work from our virtual offices. Now, what I wanted to tell you is in the last couple of weeks, we have seen a significant increase in activity in the market. We are seeing a lot more showings on our listings, and we're seeing offers in a way that we weren't in the beginning of this. So let me give you a really solid example of that. The last 3 listings that I've taken, all 3 of them now have accepted offers, and this is, of course, in the last week or so. 2 of them have backup offers in place. So it's pretty incredible if you think about it. There's still activity out there for great listings that are priced correctly for today's market. Now let's take a look at the stats, and it's very, very surprising. So let me take a moment to share with you what we have found. So these stats are for the Greater Alberni Valley. That's Beaver Creek, Cherry Creek, Sprout Lake, and the city of Port Alberni, and we're looking at single family homes. So we're comparing 2020 to 2019, and we're going back 2 months. So today is May 16th. We're going back to March 16th, basically when this health crisis really began in British Columbia. In that time, as you can see on the screen, we have seen 59 new listings hit the market with 20 sales. So that's not really surprising at all, is it? We expected the real estate to slow down, and it very much should have slowed down, and we're glad that it did for the safety of our communities. In 2019, for the same time period, we saw 106 listings and 71 sales. So if we look at that objectively, that's the spring market, and that's what a spring market typically looks like in the Alberni Valley, and we have missed that now. What I'm expecting, although we'll have to wait and see, is I'm expecting the spring market for the first time in history to become the summer market, and for everyone to start putting their houses on the market now that we have safety measures in place, protective equipment in place, and we can do so much of this virtually and keep the 100% social distancing principles in place. Now let's take a look at the stats. In general, this is a table view of the stats. So we've gone over the listings and sales. The average listing price and average sale price, I want to caution very, very strongly that in these stats, it looks like the market has dropped $30,000 or 20 some odd thousand dollars. And these stats are not proving that that's the case. There is way too few sales here. 20 sales is just too small statistically to use to see if the market's going up or down. It just takes a couple of lower end homes to happen to be the ones to sell that skew the numbers downwards. So it is too early to make any judgments based on that. However, what is super interesting is the average home that's in this last 2 months is selling at 97.4% of the asking price. That is closer to the asking price than homes sold last year. So there isn't any of this fire sales going on or desperation to sell. The market still is very balanced. It's just that the market is contracted, and we're dealing with smaller balanced numbers. Average days on the market, 41 days in the last 2 months compared to 37 last year. So very, very similar. And very interesting to me when I looked that up. So what does this mean moving forward? It's going to be incredibly interesting to see what happens when I come to you in June, what the market looks like then. Are we going to see that big spring bubble of listings, which I think and kind of hope that we will. And what our price is going to do as the year progresses. We'll kind of get a better feel for that as we get enough statistics later in the summer. Right now, it's just cautiously optimistic. As long as we are doing everything in the province, all of us, to keep this province safe, to keep this virus at bay. There's no reason in the real estate industry that we can't do this safely. We sold some houses throughout, in the early days especially, we sold some houses without ever having a buyer enter the home, because at least with the Fenton team, we own 3D technology. So we're able to map entire homes. You can virtually view them. We have drone, we can do overheads. We can really look at everything virtually. And we sold some homes sight unseen, some high-end homes to buyers. And moving forward, I will say of the 20 sales, most of them had in-person viewings, but we can really limit those in-person viewings because we don't need a second and third showing. We can typically do the virtual showings and then the first showing. So that's where it's at right now in the real estate market. If you have any general questions, please leave them in the comments. If you have any specific questions for me, or you want to talk to me about what your home might be worth, I'd be more than happy to chat with you. And you can get a hold of me at 250-723-8786. And again, my name is Chris, and I'm with the Fenton team at Royal LePage. Take care, and bye for now.